Well, hello. Welcome. What is that in the background? Welcome to part episode 2 of the Chaotic Council podcast with yours truly, Sierra. So, things are a little different this time. You are getting a visual aspect of this podcast, and the quality is horrendous because we're on my trusted dinosaur laptop. If you are watching the visual, if you are listening to this on Spotify, then you're probably like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm doing a visual version of the podcast today for this episode. I'm not making any promises for any episodes after this that is always going to be visual, but I do want to try out the visual aspect of a podcast because I find myself to like looking at visual episodes of podcasts. So this is going up on my main YouTube channel, Sierra Jade. You can go look at my other videos if you want to be cringed out, but yeah, I don't know if I want to make a separate channel for these episodes yet. I might just keep them on my main channel because it's all under one. Like, I don't want to do all that extra stuff, and I'm lazy, so yeah. But welcome to episode 2. Like I said, we're on my laptop, my MacBook. I kind of like this vintage kind of look though. We're in the living room right now, so this is the background for today's episode. I don't know if this is always going to be the background for every episode, but yeah, so that's what we're doing today. Hi, how are you guys? First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. If I sound horrible, it's because I'm trying to combat a cold right now. I don't know if I got a cold from work or my mom because she's been kind of sick too, but it's not fun. And plus I have allergies. I'm congested right now. That's why my voice sounds like this. The cold just kind of went away. I'm just congested. It's my sinuses now. So I wasn't going to record an episode today, but I was like, hey, things happen. You get sick. If you real enough to listen to me talk sounding terrible, then you're real. You're real. You're a real supporter. So anyway, on this episode, we will be talking about what I would like to call growing pains. And what I mean by growing pains is I'm 18 years old. I'm about to be 19 in August. Literally almost 3 months away. Well, actually 3 months and 2 days away for my birthday. And I'm about to be 19. I'm out of high school. I graduated last year. And it's been a lot to transition from a high school schedule, school schedule in general, to just being out of school. I'm not in college right now. It is quite a transition because it was a point where I was just existing after high school. Yeah, so it was... we're gonna get into all that, but first of all, let me tell y'all about I went thrifting yesterday and it was so fun. Like, I had so much fun. I just had so much fun. I got some jeans and I washed them because if you're not washing your clothes after you thrift them, you need to wash your clothes. And I'm not saying that all people are dirty and they just give their clothes in dirty, because if I'm gonna give some clothes away, I'm gonna at least make sure they're clean. But just because, like, just wash your clothes, period. So yeah, but I got some cute jeans from Goodwill yesterday because I just wanted to go thrifting because I haven't been thrifting. I don't even know. I haven't. I don't know if I even have been thrifting like by myself, but it was really fun. So yeah, y'all should. I'm trying to learn how to do more things by myself and enjoy my time to myself, because you can't rely on people. You cannot rely on people to do stuff with you. You cannot rely on people to be able to do stuff with you, period. And not everybody's gonna like what I like to do. Like, I wanted to go thrifting. I don't want to go thrifting. I'm gonna go by myself. like, period. But I just wanted to share that. And I actually have on this is it's a night dress. I can't get up because my whole butt will probably be out. Cause yeah, but this is a night dress I thrifted from yesterday. I washed it as soon as I got home because I was like, I'm wearing this to bed. And I thought I was gonna sleep good in it, but I didn't sleep good. But it wasn't because of the dress; it was because I'm sick. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share it with y'all. Y'all will get random takes of what I do in my life. I would just talk to y'all and just ramble. But back to the objective of what we were talking about in this episode, growing pains. So yeah, like I was saying, it's been quite a transition going from being a high school student, graduating from high school, and not being in college at the moment. So I just want to talk about that, and not just about school and academics, but just life and growth in general, because it's been a lot. So we're going to start from the timeline of me, and I don't have a note format. So if I'm talking in circles, I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to edit it out because I will be editing this episode most likely. So yeah. But fresh out of high school, first of all, I was so, like, senior year just came and smacked me right in the face. Like, I was just not in the correct headspace for senior year. Like, I wasn't applying to colleges, didn't take my SATs. I didn't do none of that, and I really don't know why. Like, I was just trying to get through and graduate. Like, I wasn't worried about what I was doing afterwards. Like, I just wasn't. So and the thing about it is, everybody was encouraging me because my grades were good. I had a great GPA throughout high school. So everybody was like, oh, you can get to really good colleges, blase, blase. But I just wasn't in that. Like, and my mom, when I first got into high school, when I first was going through middle school and all that, she, of course, like, that's been the main thing. Like, she's always been on me about getting good grades. That's why I always got good grades. But later on in my high school career, she wasn't really pressed for me to go to college because she knows I don't know what that was, y'all. I heard something. Anyway, she has a more modernized mindset now because she knows that there's so many things that you can do in this world that do not require a college degree, and she didn't want me to go and waste money. And because I'm a believer that you don't have to go to college for certain things. Like, yes, education is a gem, and being intelligent and educated is quite an advantage, but also it's not just about education. It's the reality that you have to pay for college. You have to pay. The government is not just giving you education just because they want you to succeed. No, you have to pay, and it's quite expensive. So I feel like it's certain things that you do not have to go to college for. Like, of course, you have to go to college for anything medical. You have to go to college for anything law, engineer, yeah, anything science. Yeah, but I don't believe that you have to go to school for theater or me personally, I'm a creative. I like to draw. I love art. But my mom was not necessarily fond of me going to school for art because she knows that I'm talented and I know that I'm talented. And yes, the degree can give you more credibility, but at the same time, you don't have to have a degree to be successful in art. If I wanted to be a painter, if people like my paintings, I make money off of them. They don't say, oh, do you have a painting degree? Do you have an art degree? I don't want to buy the painting from you. No. Frida Kahlo, I'm sure didn't have a college degree. Van Gogh, I don't know. I don't know. Because those two are like my top two favorite artists. But yeah, so that was her mindset. But of course, if I wanted to be a doctor or something like that, she would encourage me to go to college. She would encourage me to do all that stuff because that's what I have to do for that career, or a nurse or something like that. But she wasn't really pressed for me to go. Like, she wasn't on me about college. It wasn't something forced. You know, a lot of people that I know were made to go to college. Like, college was their only way. You know, like their parents, they were like, oh, you have to go to college, when you go to college. And, you know, I'm pretty sure their parents is looking at me sideways like, oh, she's not in college. But I just really didn't know what I wanted to do towards the end of high school. Even now, like, I'm not all the way sure what I want to do with my life. And I used to feel bad about that. And I used to feel guilty about that, but I am 18 years old. I have so much time. Like, I have so much time. Like, I am young, for real. Like, and I'm not going to force myself to know what I want to do at this age. And that was part of my growing pains, because at first I was depressed because I was like, dang, I don't know what I want to do. And I see everybody else in college. I see everybody else doing things. And I had to realize that they posting this stuff. I don't know if that's really how it is for college. And I know a lot of people who would be like, oh, college is, no. Like, they only go for the parties in the fun aspect of it. And I didn't want to go to college for the experience, because I wasn't that pressed to go to parties. I could do that outside of college. And yes, it's not the same thing as a college party, but I wasn't going to blow a bag to go to college, to go to parties and drink and hook up with people. And I don't want to be in a sorority. I told myself I would not be in a sorority if I went to college. So that's another reason I wasn't pressed. But, yeah. So it was a period after I graduated that I was really down, because I didn't have a job. Like, it was either you work or you go to school. You know, like, that was my mindset. Like, oh, if I'm not working, then I'm not going to school. I'm a bum. But at the same time, it's like, everybody moves at their own pace. Everybody moves at different pace. Everybody moves at a different pace, period. So I had to realize that and not be so hard on myself. And it took me a long time to realize that. Trust me, it really did. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm actually content with where I'm at and not judging myself so much for that. But not only in that aspect of my life did I had to grow in, but also when it came to friends and relationships and myself, my flaws, and what I didn't like about myself. Like, growth and healing is not for the weak. And I try to make my growth journey like peaches and cream. Like, oh, it doesn't have to be that hard, but I don't know. It gets rough sometimes. It does, because you're unlearning habits that you've known your whole life or for a long period of time. It's not going to change in one day. And I'm still not all the way changed. There's still points in my life where I relapse and fall back into toxic habits and things that I did before that I try to grow from. Like, for instance, friendships. I'm a very possessive friend. Like, I just am. Like, I like to have my friends to myself, or not to myself, but like, I don't like friendly friends. Like, if you're my friend, you can't be all in everybody's face. That's just not how I rock. Like, I'm not saying be a jerk to other people, but if you consider everybody your friend, that's a red flag for me. But I had to realize, like, when I realized that I was kind of sort of possessive, even in my relationship that I was in at the time, I was possessive. And I just had to understand, like, why am I so possessive? Like, is it an insecurity thing? Is it a this? Is it a that? And I honestly still don't know. But I took that step to grow, and I took that step to try to grow in that aspect of my life. And it's still a progress. It's still a work in progress. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Also, just how I took things, because I took a lot of things personally. Like, I let things affect my whole day. Somebody could say something to me that was like moderate, and it would affect my whole day. It would affect my whole perception of myself. It would affect my whole existence. And I would just make something big out of it. And let me tell y'all, I read a book that was good and brief, and it actually helps me to this day apply the rules in the book to me and how I maneuver in life. And that book is called The Four Agreements. That book, top tier, and it's not long. It's not beating around the bush. It's straight to the point. So I would recommend that book. It's called The Four Agreements, and the author is Miguel. I can't remember the rest of his name, but it's a Miguel in there. But it's a good book, and it's basically touching on the four agreements that you need to be free in life, to embrace your spiritual freedom and not be stuck in toxic patterns and habits. And one thing that he said in there was, one of the agreements was, don't take things so personally, because people don't care after they say things to you. People don't. They don't care. And I know this because I've said something to a person and not cared after. But I do care from time to time. Like, dang, I shouldn't have said that. But it's been times where I really didn't care, like, because I was mad. So people don't care how they affect you. And sometimes when you bring it up, they're even like, what are you talking about? Because they didn't. They said it and they didn't care after that. So why would you let that affect you? And I know it's like you and that person are not the same person. But why waste your time and your breath letting something affect you that obviously that person didn't care to say to you or didn't think twice about? Like, it's taken away from you at the end of the day. It's taken away from you and your happiness. So why even let it get to you like that? That's one of the agreements that really resonated with me, was just don't take things personally. And also, you have to understand that people are projecting all day, every day. People have their own demons all day, every day. People don't like themselves all day, every day. So most of the time when somebody says something to you out of poor taste, it's because they're projecting. It's not necessarily on you. It's not necessarily because of you. And that's the mindset that you have to really not take anything personal. Like, this is not about me. It's never really about you. Like, everybody's in their own little world. So I don't really care. So you just have to keep that mindset and know that it's not you. People project. That's another thing that I had to grow in. And it's just like, growth is just so many layers. It's so many layers. And I'm trying to be more calm about things because I've grown a lot. I used to be a hothead. I consider myself. I used to let things get me so mad so quick and I'd be ready to spaz. But now I just be like, okay, all right. Don't get me wrong. I'm still chaotic. I'm still loud. But at the same time, it's just like, I'm not about to keep letting people see that they affect me. I'm not about to keep letting people think that they affect me because they don't affect me. I don't want them to affect me. So it is what it is, Don't let that negative energy get you out of character. And that's what I'm learning. It's just like growth. I don't know. Like, when I have a job now, and it's like, now that I have a job, it's like, was it really that serious when I was sad and mad that I didn't have a job and I was at home drawing and painting pictures and or Instagram, all that? Was it really that serious? Because now that I have a job, it's like, girl, I still have time. I'm 18, but I'm not 25. And even at 25, you're not going to have it all figured out. I just had a brain fart, y'all. I'm going to edit that out. But yeah, so it's just a lot to unlearn toxic habits and things that could harm you. And I am proud of myself for trying to grow at such a young age and be self-aware and heal from things that have bothered me, because, it's better to do it now and get in the habit now rather than later, because later is when things get a little more real. So gotta be ready for that. And yeah, it's just hard though. It's hard to always try to be the bigger person, and it's just hard. It's hard. It really is. I don't always want to be the bigger person. Sometimes I want to be petty, and sometimes I still am petty. Trust me. But and even not even just that, like physically, how I feel about myself, I've grown because I'm not perfect. Trust me, I still have days where I'm not totally accepting of myself, but it's like at the end of the day, you're not ever going to be anybody else. You're always going to be who you are. And I try to accept myself and love myself in my natural state, in my natural form, in my natural being, because I will never be anybody else but me. Like, especially going into summer, I've had some body image issues. You know, I've gained weight. Looking back to my freshman year pictures to now, you know, you gain weight. As you get older, you gain weight, your metabolism slows down. And when I was a freshman, baby, that metabolism was sharp. I mean, I could eat a whole 10 of burgers and in an hour I'd be like snatched. But it's not like that now. Like, my metabolism has slowed down and I do have a little more weight. Like, my arms, I have stretch marks on my arms. You can't really see them, but I have stretch marks on my arms that I did not have before. I have stretch marks everywhere. And that falls back into me not taking things personally, because yeah, people have commented on my weight gain. People have commented on, oh, you know, you gained a little weight. And it used to get to me, and it still kind of does get to me, but at the same time, it's like, who don't like a little meat on them? Like, I think I look good regardless. Like I do think I look good regardless. And retrograde has had me questioning my entire life, my entire existence, physically and mentally. But I had to really snap back and say, girl, you are that. You are her. You're her. So what are you talking about? What are you really trying to say? So that was a moment of weakness for me. Yeah, so that's another part of growth. And another thing that I'm realizing is, like, it's just to, like, when you really are in the process of moving on and growing, you just realize that it's never that serious. Like, it's never that serious. It's never that serious. It's never that serious. Let me just say that. It's never that serious. It's never that serious. With anything, it's never that serious, because it's never that serious. Like I said, it's never that serious. And finally, in the aspect of dating and being with somebody, and I've grown a lot since my last relationship and my last and only relationship. But that was my first relationship, so I don't really give myself a whole lot of grief about how I was, because I've never had to deal with another person on a daily, everyday basis. So I've grown, and I've kind of came up with a more ideal look of how I would want my relationship to look if I were to get in another one. So also working on my patience and just not being so crazy, because I was crazy. I was insane in that relationship. It was it was crazy. But yeah, like, you just grow, and also your standards grow. Like, you realize, oh, I don't want this. I know what I want, and I know what I'm going to get. I'm not going to settle for anything less. So that's another thing that I'm growing in, and realizing that as you mature, people are not going to always be there for you. People are not always going to be the people that you need them to be, or people are not always going to meet your expectations. And that's why you can't always have expectations for people, because you just can't expect anything. That's how you get your feelings hurt, expecting things. So yeah, but just realizing that you just got to have yourself, period. At the end of the day, you always got to have yourself. You always got to hold yourself down and grow and mature and just do things how you want to do things. Live life. Don't wait on nobody. Don't. You can't. And it's not always about growth. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about growing pains and my growth journey and what I feel like I've grown in and what I'm proud of myself for. But at the same time, I'm not always growing. I'm not. And if I said that previously, ignore that. I'm contradicting myself, because I don't always grow. It has been times where I have not been the best version of myself. And that's okay. That's okay. We are all human. Trust me, we're all human. And it's not always about chasing the next version of yourself. Like, I grew in things because they were hurting me. Who just wants to be around here hurting? But you shouldn't always aim to just grow. I'm trying to do this. You need to take everything day by day and really just smell the roses, because you're never going to be this version again. So you might as well embrace it and accept it before you reach a higher level. But growth is necessary. Don't get me wrong. Growth is necessary. You're not always going to be the same version of yourself. It's about evolution. But don't be so hard on yourself to change, and because like I said, you can't unlearn things that you've been doing your whole life in a day. Not even a week. I mean, some people, hey, I'm not going to say anything is possible, but at the same time, realistically, I would say it takes time, and everybody's pace is different, but at the same time, don't down yourself for that. Overall growth, it's just a lot, especially just for me, getting out of high school and transitioning into adulthood. And I'm trying to take it day by day and understand that I have so much time. I'm so young, and I don't have to have everything figured out. I don't have to be the most ascended version of myself. That's what I keep in mind. But that is all I'm going to say for this podcast episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that I didn't talk in a circle. I'm going to try to edit it so it doesn't seem like I talked in a circle. But if I did, I'm sorry. I will see you guys in the next episode. Ideally, next Friday. Don't hold me to it. Like I said, you don't know what might happen next Friday. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys took something from what I've said and resonated with what I said. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Love you.